Hey, what's up? What's up? What's happening? What's popping? What's crackling? What it do? All those standard greetings. Good people. It's your girl KB. You know what I do and you know why I do it. It is Tuesday, March 17th, and it is 3:17 in the AM. Hey, look at that. It's 3:17, the date, 3:17 the time. Anywho, didn't log on to say that. I say that a lot, don't I? Didn't log on to say that. Never mind. I want to pose a question to you good people. And this is the question that goes to my LGBTQ community. And for those of you who don't know what that means, LGBTQ. LGBTQ. I like saying it that way because one is goofy and two, it adds a certain oomph. Question is, have you ever really been interested in somebody and decide to shoot your shot, but after you've made your decision, you've heard the individual say something that you know is problematic for your personality type? What do? And I'm asking for a friend. No, seriously. Let me just tell the truth and shame the devil. So, been kind of interested in somebody, and I was gonna throw a line out there, see what nibbled, and then they said something, and I'm like, no. And I'm no, because I know me. And I know at some point that what they said is going to be a bone of contention for me. And it's not so much what they said, it's how they said it. You know, I share that, I'm one of those people that's brutally honest. Now, the new internet diagnosis is neurodivergent. I'm one of those people that, I know my integrity is all that I have. That's all that I bring to this world. And if I can't keep my word to me, if I can't keep boundaries with myself, it's going to be a struggle to do it with someone else. Now, it's going to be exceptionally hard to do it with someone else if there's that undercurrent, right? I know that. And I've promised myself after this last gut-wrenching heartbreak that I'm not going to enter into anything that requires extra work. And I know relationships are work. That I do know. I'm not delusional about that. You can't expect two separate personalities to come together and agree upon everything. That's just totally unrealistic. Although I do believe in, compromise. I do believe in romance. I believe in a lot of kind of happily ever after type scenarios. But I also know that it takes commitment on both sides of that coin. And this is from years of the back and forth, the conversations and the compromises. And as I shared, I'm not in that space to do that. I don't want to be in that space to do that. Let me put that out there as well. I'm at that space mentally and emotionally where I want to retire. I am at that space mentally and emotionally where, I don't want to indulge in the follies of my youth. I don't have the time or the inclination to go back and forth. I don't have the time or the inclination for fussing and fighting. So, that being said, there's a different ball game when you're older and you're in a place that you want companionship. Now, notice I said want. I know the difference between wants and needs. I need, love and nurturing, just like anybody else. And if you say you don't need it, I'm going to keep walking, and give you a definitive no. But, when I say I need it, I can get that from my family and friends. It's not the same level, but I can get it from my family and friends. I guess I'm saying all this to say is pay attention before you jump into anything. And communicate what I like to call the fine print, your non-negotiables. As I shared, I was with an individual for 14 years. That's my longest relationship. Prior to that, I was good if I made it past 2. And I can say, if it made it past 2, things ended because of immaturity on my part. I can say that. But I've never cheated on anyone. Now, have I been cheated on? Absolutely. I want to say in almost every major relationship. And that's where the immaturity on my part comes in. Or came in. Because I wanted to fuss and fight and argue about it and think that we can get past this, even though I knew I was harboring and nurturing a resentment. Now if that's what you feel you need to do, just let me know and I'll go on about my business. Now, if you get caught in your lies and your web, I'm not even going to have the courtesy of a conversation. I'm going to go on about my business. Because you didn't see fit to have a conversation with me about what you wanted to do. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of complexities and intricacies that folks aren't willing to talk about. Or folks struggle with making the distinction between their wants and needs. But I can tell you this much. Communication and the need for communication is a critical component to any successful relationship.